Moving on now, the US President Donald Trump once again in the news this time round. Yet again, there's been a change in his staff. This time round, White House Chief of Staff was taken out. This is Reince Priebus, who's been replaced with Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly. Trump tweeted saying, on the decision, I'm pleased to inform you that I've just named General Secretary John F. Kelly as White House Chief of Staff. He also added, I thank Priebus for his service and dedication to his country. We accomplished a lot together and I am proud of him. The latest shake-up of the White House leadership comes as the feud between Priebus and the new communication director Anthony Scaramucci, and it went nasty over the past few days. Trump has in 6 months now lost Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff, National Security Advisor, Communication Director and Press Secretary. After 6 months of an administration that's been marked by intra-White House intrigue and fighting, finally now Trump's White House staff position is given to the Marine General John Kelly. My colleague Geeta is joining us on the story. Geeta, these signs of constant change with the Trump White House staff has come under tremendous criticism, not only within the United States, but also sending out a worrying signal about Trump's leadership across the globe.
Well, also, Devina, the important point over here is that how long and for how and to how many people can Trump go on doing this. Any decision that he takes or he intends to take, if there is disagreement in his own staff, that staff member is removed. We've seen that from the National Security Advisor to the White House Press Secretary, the Chief Spokesperson, and now we're looking at the Chief of Staff now being replaced. So it clearly is a sign of how things are going to work in the White House and in the Trump administration. At the highest levels, Trump has been changing administrators, changing officers, and changing his own personal staff. Is not a good sign, and certainly is a huge issue, Devina, that is being debated in the United States of America, with the world and the international community looking at it with a very, very keen eye. The Chief of Staff in the White House in the past has been it has been a very rare thing for the Chief of Staff to be changed, a very rare thing for the National Security Advisor to be removed. And again, a very rare thing for the Chief Spokesperson and the Press Secretary to the President to be removed and then changed and a new one and replaced by a new one, Devina. Hence, we're looking at chaos and no order in this chaos that we're seeing in the White House and in Trump's administration.
Well, also, this hire and fire policy at will of Donald Trump goes on to suggest that this is a leadership which the United States is seeing for the first time, as you rightly mentioned, the top positions being changed, and a man who doesn't have the enough national policy experience going to be now the White House Chief of Staff, and that's the criticism that the US media is reporting on. Now, how does this also impact our side of the world, Geeta, that you are dealing with Donald Trump, who is completely unpredictable? How does it impact India's way of dealing with the United States, and talks about the leadership of the United States under Donald Trump?
Well, again, it depends on how far are we to go with the Trump administration in not offending Donald Trump. Look, the kind of relationship that we saw between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Trump has been one where they understood the transactional relationship and US understood the importance of India and India as a market. And the reason why we saw a great meeting between the two leaders. But if India were to push a little more on climate change issues, we would have seen a very different side of Trump. And that's the same way it's going within the Trump administration. The Obamacare bill that did not see the light of day because John McCain voted against is one such example. And the speculations rise of who is going to be sacked on that very same front, and because of that very same reason is the reason why preempting those moves by Donald Trump, we are seeing so many resignations rather than sacking as well.
Yes, Geeta, thanks for joining us with all those details for the moment.